Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com back again with another cryptocurrency video. Today we're going to be taking a look at Polkadot, which is a crypto that I have definitely not talked about enough on this channel, and it is even more important now that a lot of these proof of stake coins that are competing heavily for which one is going to have the strongest network and the strongest ecosystem is going to be. And we can just look at basically in the top 10 here. It's pretty straightforward. We have Ethereum, which is obviously, basically the first one, but you have to keep in mind that Ethereum does have a lot of problems, right? Technically, I think it's just not as strong as some of these alternative other proof of stake coins, such as Cardano or Polkadot, for example. And, the competition is strong, the competition is heating up. We've got Binance Coin as well in there that has an extremely efficient blockchain through the Binance Smart Chain with very cheap transaction costs and already a lot of applications built on it. So now the question is, right, you have all these different cryptos that are competing, Ethereum, Binance, Cardano, Polkadot, for fairly similar goals. Now some of them can focus more in different areas, etc. And to be honest, all of them are probably going to do very well in the coming years. We're going to look at Polkadot though, because it has actually seen a bit of a drop recently. This could be a buying opportunity. We're going to talk about that later in this video. If you do actually want to buy Polkadot, I'll leave a link to Binance in the description below. Binance is the exchange with the most volume traded for Polkadot, and it's my favorite exchange personally. It's the one I use myself. So if you are interested in purchasing or investing in Polkadot, make sure to check out Binance. Like I said, I'll leave a link in the description of this video to that. Now, currently at $25, it has a market cap of $24 billion. So actually, that is a bigger market cap crypto, but I'm looking at a lot of these cryptos in the top 10 to, basically fully 10x in the next, 5 years, 10 years max. This is something that can happen very quickly, even within a matter of 2 to 3 years. But really, the current prices right now are really based on them not having, fully launched yet, not having reached their full capacity, not having, a full built out ecosystem with a bunch of projects on them. But once that starts happening, you have to understand that these will be, massive entities. And these coins that I'm talking about, right, are going to be the future Apples and Microsofts of the blockchain space. So in that sense, betting on something like Polkadot is actually pretty interesting in my opinion. And I don't own any Polkadot right now. However, I'm heavily considering getting some, especially around these levels. And, on any drop down to 15 or $10, $13, if that even happens, which is honestly probably not going to happen. But even right now, I think this is actually a pretty good buy-in price, because I can see this reaching a $200 to $300 billion market cap very easily. And we're going to jump into some news pieces that I think are very interesting. So first off, we've got Facebook's DM that is nearing release, and it's actually going to be built out on Polkadot. So this is a very big project that is obviously going to probably attract a lot of money, marketing, and just that is going to be huge for Polkadot's network, having something like this on it. And that's something that I wanted to point out right off the bat. We're also going to look at the fact that institutions have been, heavily adding these proof of stake coins specifically. Now, Bitcoin is under fire for proof of work mining, energy consumption, etc. And now a lot of these bigger institutions, right? And I think there's a couple reasons for this, but they're looking at these proof of stake coins because they don't have that concern. They are also viewed a bit more like commodities in the sense that, these coins power the blockchains that are used by millions of users, maybe even billions of users one day. And through that, right, you can actually gain staking rewards since they are proof of stake. So, you have these massive institutions that see how much these are about to grow and that want to load up now while they can then get huge proof of stake rewards on the future after these coins have already 10x'd, right? And this has already literally been happening with Cardano and Ethereum. And also, this proof of stake mechanism does tend to, especially when it's a high amount that's staked, does tend to actually stabilize the price. We've seen it with Cardano, and honestly, if we look at Polkadot as well, the price is very stable, right? I mean, even back here, all the way through this run-up, very stable. Even on this consolidation over here, still very stable. And we did see a drop finally after a lot of consolidation as with most other cryptos, but still, right, nothing too crazy, and an overall stability and healthiness to the chart. So that's something I wanted to point out, and that's actually something that I think is one of the positives that I see with Polkadot specifically, is just the strength in the chart alone. Now, if we look at some of the numbers here in terms of the inflows and outflows to these cryptos, what you're going to see is that they are really focusing on three coins, really Cardano, DOT, and XRP. And you can see that the inflows here, for example, the past week, DOT had 3.8 million, XRP had 4.5, 5.2. You can see the assets under management over here. DOT is actually the second most. So these institutions are really loading up on these coins, and don't forget, this is just the beginning in the crypto space, right? You have to keep in mind that these institutions are probably going to try and accumulate as much as possible to own as much of the network as possible. And also with funds, ETFs coming out for these cryptos, of course, there are a bunch of great small altcoins, but some of these bigger cap coins that are going to be mainstay blockchains are going to be added to ETFs and funds in the future. These include things like Polkadot, Cardano, and Ethereum. You're going to have proof of stake ETFs probably that include those three coins. And, whether Polkadot or Cardano is a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller, the bottom line is that these are going to see huge, drastic increases in price through those additions. And that's really what I'm trying to point out here, instead of trying to pinpoint which one is going to do a little bit better than the other. And to be honest, one of the things that I like about Polkadot specifically, I do like Cardano, I like Ethereum, but Ethereum, I think the fees are just getting too ridiculous. With that being said, Polkadot does actually have a lot of projects and a lot of backing. You can take this article, for example. Master Ventures announced a $30 million Polkadot ecosystem fund. So they are funding, blockchain development and support for projects. And what that really means, right, is that these can become huge decentralized applications in the futures. And we're seeing that support for Polkadot, and we're already seeing a lot of applications being built out, whereas Cardano, for example, I feel isn't actually seeing as much development as Polkadot, which is something that worries me a little bit. Now, for Ethereum, right, that there's no questions asked. We have huge decentralized applications, Uniswap, SushiSwap, already on Ethereum. Binance Coin has, similar competitors to that, and Binance Coin is really giving all of these blockchains a run for their money, right, in that sense, because it's already functional, it already has the cheap fees, etc., etc. Polkadot and Cardano do have some very, very promising scalability potential and interoperability, and I think that's going to be really interesting and huge. But you have to keep in mind that at the end of the day, one of the most important things is that people are using these blockchains and using these decentralized applications and paying the fees on the network with those native tokens, right? And that's really what's going to put the blockchains in the number one spot, the second spot, et cetera, right? And these are smart contract ecosystem networks. So if you don't know exactly what Polkadot is, it's a heterogeneous multi-chain, interchain, and translation architecture which enables custom sidechains to connect with public blockchains. And the protocol was actually created by Gavin Wood, who was the co-founder of Ethereum. So, you have a bit of a Steve Jobs, Bill Gates thing going on with Gavin Wood, Vitalik, and Charles Hoskinson. Obviously, very, very smart individuals. Regardless, you can take a look at their project mode route. They've got a cool video about Polkadot on this page here as far as the project is concerned. And really, parachains are the next big thing here to launch and to create some hype for Polkadot. And I'm also going to show you some of the projects being built out on it. So as I was saying earlier, right, one of the things that's the most important with these blockchains is that they're actually seeing growth in the ecosystem and adoption. Now, if we look at Polka project, we can see an actual list of all the projects under Polkadot right now. We have 448, and you can see, the development activity for Polkadot itself, right? You can see 649 new developments in the last 30 days alone, right? These are, programmatic developments. And Kusama, same thing, right? The parachain, 63 additions as well. So it is being updated very, very actively, and that is something that's great to see. You can see some of the bigger projects also under it. And don't forget, this is just the beginning. We're going to see a lot more interesting and big projects come along, but you can already see that there is a substantial amount of development under Polkadot, and that is something that Cardano has been coming under fire for. Is not enough, actual true applications that are coming up, right? And that is obviously one of the biggest, most important things, like I said, for these actual smart contract networks to for the token itself, right? Polkadot, for example, to have value. So that's something that I'm not too worried about, because it does seem like the development is coming through very, very well. Now let's look at the more detailed chart here. Look at the technicals. Talk a little bit about what's happening. Obviously, Polkadot has just had a great success since the beginning, right? It stabilized a bit, initially around $4, and then just huge run up all the way to $50 basically, which was its all-time high. We'll put in the resistance level there, specifically around $47 to $50 is where it peaked out. Now, if we look at, we had a period of consolidation, which I think a lot of people might have thought that was going to lead to a breakout higher above $50. That didn't happen, right? We did break down lower, and now we're kind of in this new range where we put in our support at $13 on this dip here. So basically, this new range is between $13 and $27, give or take, and this is likely where we're going to be trading in next. Now, to be honest, right now I think we might actually see a little bit of a move lower again, and just expect some up and down price action for some time in here. Now, one of the big things that is actually positive about if we get an extended period of time of consolidation like this is that you can actually stake your Polkadot for some very, very nice returns, right? I believe somewhere around 8 to 12% pretty easily. So that is something that is going to pay you passively while you are holding your tokens in a period of consolidation like this. Could we see a drop lower, down to $10 or even below that? It is always possible. We have very strong support. The chart is pretty clean. We've got huge support at $7. Obviously, we would see a bunch of support at $10. But to be honest, right now, I don't necessarily see any reason for that to happen. It seems like we are probably just going to enter a period of consolidation in between this $13 to $27 range. Most likely, really staying around the middle of that range, around $20 to $23 probably for quite some time. And then eventually, I think we're going to get our breakout higher when the rest of the market is ready to move up. Great period to accumulate, in my opinion. That's probably what I'm going to do. As far as bearish signs is concerned, we did have a bearish divergence that was building up for quite some time compared to the price up top. So this is actually, a hint that we saw this move lower. And could we see another one? Possible, right? We'll have to look at how the RSI acts. We did actually now find some support there on the RSI and put in a higher low. So like I said, all signs to me point towards some consolidation right now for Polkadot, but I do want to make it clear that whenever we get this breakout above $27 again, I feel is going to be the push, especially once we get above $50, to really push us to a basically a full 10x on the Polkadot network, right? So that will mean a $250 billion cryptocurrency, $300 billion cryptocurrency, and with that, right, a 10x in the price as well, of course, for Polkadot, which means that you can expect it somewhere around $250 to $300, and this is when we see that next bull move. So that could, take definitely probably like 2 to 3 years, because right now we are entering this period of consolidation in crypto. So I'm not sure if we're going to see a pump just yet, but when that pump happens, it will be drastic, and I don't want to miss out on it. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe. This is it for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to learn technical analysis trading, make sure to check out my master course. It's less than $20, comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, and has great reviews. Also, make sure to follow me on Twitter for live cryptocurrency updates. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Stay safe and have a great day. I'll see you next time.